Megan, and today I'm here to bring you a book review of Royce Rolls by Margaret Stohl. This is the Prustopia Book Club pick of the month for the month of April. And this month we're doing a paid promotion with Freeform Books, which is an imprint of Disney publishing worldwide. This follows our main character Bentley, who is a part of a notoriously famous family who has their own reality TV show called Rollin' with the Royces. Think essentially the Kardashians. Bentley is a typecasted Hollywood starlet. She seemingly has it all: fame, riches. There's something about Bentley that a lot of people don't know, that she actually hates it and she wants to give it all up. She wants to go to college. She wants to live a normal life. And it seemingly looks like she's gonna get her wish when it looks like her family reality TV show is not gonna be renewed for a 6th season. However, when this news kind of looms, it makes her family seemingly fall apart, who by the way is full of narcissists and all sorts of other problems. It seemingly gets worse on the night of her sister's made-for-TV wedding, when Bentley's involved in a horrible car accident. Things just seem out of control. So that there is the kind of the premise in a nutshell. Before I even jump into this review, I need to quickly say I love reality TV. It is probably one of my biggest guilty pleasures, and I thought this book was absolutely hilarious. First off, this is a book that will completely rip apart the supposed glamour of Hollywood and completely paint it out to be what it is: fake, narcissistic, completely shallow. And it is not kind to Hollywood, is not kind to a lot of the players in Hollywood. And while Margaret Stohl definitely tears this Hollywood world apart viciously, she does it in a way that's so funny, and there's situations in this book that are just so ridiculous. As a reader, you can't help but just to laugh and just be confronted with the absurdity of it all, because that's kind of what it is. Everything about this and this world is just absurd. Moving on to more specifics, my favorite element, my favorite character, my favorite part of this book had to be the main character, Bentley. Bentley's a great main character and a perfect character to have the narrative run through, because she is, and kind of is, a self-proclaimed and is often treated as an outsider, and as someone who doesn't really want to be involved in everything, and is also a character that readily admits that whatever's going on is just as ridiculous as the reader also feels going on. So she kind of acts as the kind of go-between between the reader and this world. And while yes, Bentley as our main character is the one we get to see and kind of relate with in that way in terms of approaching this narrative, we also get to see Bentley go through this wonderful character arc throughout the entirety of the story, which is something I really love to see. We start the story with Bentley feeling like she's very cornered. One, she's a part of this reality TV show she doesn't want to and never really had a choice in. Two, she feels like no one really sees her for who she is. And normally that sounds like a dramatic statement, but legitimately Bentley Royce puts on a character for a national, international reality TV show and plays a person that she's not, but everyone thinks that's who she is. And her family also views her as that person and makes her try to be that person, and that's not who she wants to be. She holds a lot of resentment towards everyone, including her family, for this reason. However, throughout the story, you really see Bentley become into her own, start to pursue things that she herself wants to pursue, and also begins to understand and love and become closer with her family, even though they're insane, and she completely sees that, and they're narcissistic and they're completely screwed up, and there's a lot of things wrong with them, but they all begin to kind of see and understand each other, which is something that I really like to see. Moving on to the actual family, I mentioned them briefly in the intro and just then, but Bentley's family is made up of her mom, Mercedes, her sister, Portia, and her cute younger brother, Maybach. Mercedes is the matriarch of the family, completely fame hungry, will do anything to get her family where they need to go to be as successful as possible. She comes from a very humble background, and she is gonna do anything to win this Hollywood game. Portia is very much like her mother. She's the oldest sibling in the household. Again, willing to do anything to be famous, willing to fit any mold that she needs to, willing to do anything to push her makeup line and to increase sales. And then the younger brother is Maybach, and he is closest to Bentley, and he actually has some serious addiction issues with gambling that's explored in this as well, which I thought was very interesting. But like I said, the dynamic of this family is very interesting and very complex, and the whole plot of this story is centered around trying to renew season 6, obviously, and Portia has a plan to get it renewed by having a wedding, which is fake and completely made up for the cameras, but the world doesn't know that, just everyone involved in it. it. And so this whole story kind of takes place during the planning and leading up to this said wedding. The plot of this book is completely dramatic and, like I mentioned, outrageous, but because of that it was just entirely entertaining and delicious to read. You can't help but to make parallels to what happened in this book to what probably happens all the time on a regular basis, both in reality television and in Hollywood at large. It has just such fantastic characters and such great one-liners, and I just really loved this book. I thought it was a whole lot of fun. Bentley, like I said, was by far my favorite character, but I really loved the ridiculous family elements as well. I mean, like, you gotta respect Mercedes for going after what she wants. In a lot of ways, she's a little inspiring. While completely ruthless and perhaps moralless, she's kind of likable in a way, because she's just willing to do anything to get what she wants and to get her family where she feels like they need to be. Additionally, I felt like Margaret Stohl did a thing I was not expecting, and that was to paint all these incredibly privileged, rich, petty individuals in such a light where you as a reader kind of pity them in some ways, because you read them and their lives to you kind of begin to look so sad because of how shallow they are and how completely warped their perspective is on what is actually important in life, that you kind of are just like, wow, I feel bad for you and I don't want your life because you just are a kind of a sad human being. And I think it was interesting that Margaret Stohl was able to do that. Granted, keep in mind these people are so privileged, but it was an interesting feeling I had that I was not anticipating. But yes, ultimately I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I really had a good time reading it. I flew through it. I think I read it in a few days, and I would highly recommend this book. If you like things like this, I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review video, as we'll be talking about it soon in a live show. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon with another video soon. Goodbye!